voices inside the silence of the morning light, calling me to trust the path I cannot fully see tonight. When every answer feels too far and every step feels blind, I learned to let go of control I thought I had in mind. I lay down every heavy thought I cannot carry far, and choose to follow something deeper than just who we are. Not leaning on the limits of what only I can prove, but moving with a wisdom that keeps pulling me to move. Even when the road ahead is breaking into unknown, I find a steady presence in the quiet I have known. A direction beyond pressure, beyond fear and pride, a steady kind of knowing that is always by my side. So I trust the unseen guidance in the middle of my doubt. Even when the world is loud and tries to figure it all out, there is a way that opens when I stop and let it be. A clearer kind of vision that was always meant for me. I will not rely only on my understanding. There is more than what my thoughts are always demanding. When I release the need to have control over it all, something stronger lifts me up when I begin to fall. Every step I take is guided even in the unknown. Every broken piece is finding where it can be shown. Every closed door is shaping something better on the way. Even when I cannot see the meaning of today, there is purpose in the waiting. There is strength in letting go. There is power in believing more than what I think I know. And the more I stop insisting on my limited design, the more I see a greater plan unfolding over time. In the chaos of the questions and the pressure of the race, I am learning how to listen to a deeper kind of pace. Not rushing toward confusion, not escaping from the pain, but discovering hidden meaning in the loss and in the gain. And I feel a quiet current pulling me to higher ground, where the noise of all my worries slowly fades without a sound, where direction is not forced but naturally aligns with a greater kind of rhythm that was written in the signs. So I choose to trust the process even when it feels unclear, even when I walk through shadows of uncertainty and fear, because every single moment is a piece that leads me on to a place where understanding shows me where I belong. There is a path that straightens when the heart begins to yield, when I stop resisting battles I was never meant to wield. And I find that every struggle is a teacher in disguise, showing me a deeper vision through a different pair of eyes. I will walk with steady courage even when I cannot see, knowing something greater gently guides the steps of me. Not by force or calculation, not by fear or desperate need, but by quiet inner wisdom planting every living seed. And in every new beginning, in each ending on the way, there is something rearranging every night and every day, turning broken expectations into something strong and new, building roads beneath my feet I never thought I'd go through. So I move with quiet confidence into what will come, letting go of every doubt that tries to make me numb, because I know that even when I cannot understand, there is still a greater order holding every grain of sand. And I will keep on walking even when I cannot see, trusting deeper understanding shaping all of me, because the path becomes more certain when I finally align with a wisdom far beyond the limits of my mind. And step by step I realize I was never on my own. There was always hidden guidance in the seeds already sown, leading me through every valley, every mountain, every turn, teaching me the deeper lessons I was meant to learn. So I trust the unseen journey, I release what I control, and I find a greater purpose shaping every part of soul, with a hope that keeps on rising like a sunrise breaking through, lighting up the path ahead in everything I do. And I move forward with a courage that is steady, strong and free, knowing life is more than what it seems to be to me. It is guided, it is growing, it is forming something bright, turning every step I take into purpose, into light. There is a quiet strength that rises when I let things go, a deeper kind of knowing that I didn't used to know. When I stop trying to control every outcome in my hand, I find a better rhythm than I ever had planned. I used to think direction came from logic and from proof, but now I see the clearest path is often out of view. It starts within a stillness where the noise begins to fade, and every heavy burden slowly starts to be unmade. I walk into uncertainty with something new inside, a steady kind of courage I no longer have to hide, not depending on my limits or the things I once believed, but on a greater wisdom I am learning to receive. Even when the world is shifting underneath my feet, there is something unchanging that makes every moment meet, a design that feels invisible but holds me in its flow, guiding every step I take to where I need to go. I release the need to understand it all today, because answers often form along the way, and what I thought was random starts to organize with time into something far more meaningful than any plan of mine. I don't lean on my own thinking as the final truth. There is something far beyond the reach of my own proof, and when I stop insisting that I must control it all, I find a stronger presence that will always catch my fall. Every delay becomes a doorway I could not have seen. Every closed road redirects me to what could have been. And even in confusion there is purpose taking shape, a hidden kind of guidance that I slowly learned to trace. I used to rush for clarity, to force a certain way, but now I understand the value of a patient day, where silence teaches lessons that are louder than the noise, and inner understanding replaces outer choice. There is a flow that carries everything beyond my sight, a steady undercurrent turning darkness into light. And even when I cannot see the reason or the plan, I find a deeper order shaping everything I am. So I move with quiet trust, the unknown ahead, letting go of all the fear of what I once had said, because every step is meaningful, even when unclear, and every moment carries something I was meant to hear. There is wisdom in the waiting, there is strength in letting be. There is something greater working, even when I cannot see. And the more I stop resisting what I cannot understand, the more I find a pathway gently formed by unseen hands. In the pressure of ambition, in the chaos of the race, I discover something deeper than the speed I try to chase. A calm that reorganizes every thought I thought I knew, turning broken expectations into something fresh and new. I don't walk alone, even when the path feels far and wide. There is something always moving right there by my side. Not visible, not forced, but consistent through it all, lifting me when I am tired, catching me when I fall. Every moment becomes part of a larger unfolding story, where confusion turns to meaning and defeat becomes glory. Not in loud celebration, but in quiet, in change, where everything that broke me starts to rearrange. So I trust the unseen process shaping who I'm meant to be, even when I cannot fully understand or see, because there is a deeper order working through my days, guiding every step I take in mysterious ways. And I choose to keep on moving even when I cannot trace the full direction of the journey or the final place, because what matters is the growth along the winding road, and the strength I never knew I had quietly bestowed. I stopped leaning on my own limits as the final guide, and I open up to something broader deep inside, where intuition meets a wisdom I don't fully own. And I realize I was never walking alone. Every fear becomes a teacher, every loss becomes a sign, pointing me towards something greater over time. And I begin to see the beauty in the unknown space, where everything is forming with a perfect kind of grace. So I step into tomorrow without needing full control, with a calm assurance settling deeply in my soul, because I know that every fragment has a place to fit, even when I do not yet understand all of it. I used to think direction came from logic and there is a moment when the noise begins to fall away, and something deeper starts to speak into the day. Not loud, not forced, but steady like a hidden stream, guiding every broken thought inside a waking dream. I used to build my plans on everything I thought I knew, but even perfect logic doesn't always see it through. So I learned to loosen all the grip I held so tight, and trust a wider vision beyond my limited sight. When I stop relying only on my own design, something greater starts aligning every step of time. What once felt disconnected slowly finds its place, like scattered pieces forming into perfect grace. I don't need to understand each turning of the road. There is meaning even in the weight I've had to hold, and every question left unanswered is a seed, growing into something better than I thought I'd need. So I move with quiet courage into what I cannot see, knowing there is deeper order shaping what will be. Not controlled by fear or rushing, not by pride or gain, but by something constant moving through both joy and pain. Every delay becomes a lesson in disguise. Every silence opens up a different pair of eyes, and I begin to notice how the timing has its art, how even broken endings are a brand new start. I release the need to master every single turn ahead, because wisdom often rises from the things I never said, from the pauses in the journey, from the waiting in between, where unseen transformation quietly is seen. There is a path unfolding even when I cannot trace. Every step is part of something I cannot erase, and though I don't see the full picture from where I stand, I feel a guiding rhythm shaping everything I am. I don't rely on thinking that is limited and small. There is something far beyond it, holding everything in all. And when I let go of certainty I thought I had to keep, I find a deeper current underneath the shallow deep. Even in confusion there is structure forming still, a direction moving forward with a quiet steady will. And I realize every moment has been leading me to a place of clearer purpose and greater clarity. So I walk into uncertainty with calmness in my chest, not because I know the outcome, but because I trust the rest. There is something always working even when I cannot see, turning every situation into possibility. I no longer chase control over every little part. I allow a deeper wisdom to shape my mind and heart, and in surrender I discover something strong and true, a kind of inner compass always pointing me through. Every fear becomes a teacher, every loss becomes a guide, every closed door opens something I could not decide. And I start to see the beauty in the unknown space, where nothing is wasted in the flow of time and place. There is a strength in not insisting on my own control. There is freedom in releasing what I thought I had to hold. And the more I stop demanding every answer right away, the more I find direction forming in a steady way. So I trust the unseen process that is shaping who I'll be, even when I cannot fully understand or see, because the path becomes more certain as I learn to let it go, and allow a deeper wisdom take me where I need to go. Step by step I'm being led through what I cannot plan, through a greater kind of order far beyond a single man. And I find that every fragment of my story fits just right in a bigger kind of meaning slowly coming into light. I will not lean only on my limited perception. There is something far more perfect in the quiet direction. And as I walk into the unknown with steady breath, I find life itself is guiding me through every step I There is a deeper calm that rises when I slow my mind, a place beyond the pressure of the life I try to find, where every loud conclusion starts to fade into the air, and something more eternal gently shows that it is there. I used to think control was how I made it through each day, but even perfect planning can dissolve along the way. So I learned to loosen every grip I held so tight, and let a different wisdom guide me gently through the night. When I stop insisting on my narrow point of view, a wider kind of vision starts to quietly break through. What once felt like confusion starts to organize and align into something more intentional, unfolding over time. I don't rely only on the thoughts I've built alone. There is a greater understanding deeper than my own, and when I let go of the need to have it all explained, I find a steady peace I never thought could be obtained. Every unknown path I walk becomes a lesson in disguise, teaching me to see beyond the limits of my eyes. And even when I cannot trace the reason or the plan, there is something shaping purpose. I am learning how to stand. I move forward without needing every answer right away, because clarity can form within the flow of every day. And what feels like interruption often carries hidden grace, redirecting every step into a better place. I release the pressure of deciding everything alone. There is guidance in the silence I am slowly coming to know. Not loud like outer voices, but consistent in its tone, like a current underneath that never leaves me on my own. Every closed door has a meaning I could not have seen before. Every ending is a signal pointing to an open door, and I begin to trust the timing of what comes and what will pass, knowing nothing built in patience is ever meant to last. I don't need to force the future into something I define. There is a greater structure working through each thread of time, and when I stop resisting what I cannot fully control, something stronger than my fear begins to fill my soul. Even uncertainty becomes a friend I learn to keep, a space where hidden answers slowly rise up from the deep. And I realize that confusion is not failure in disguise, but a doorway into wisdom I could not otherwise find. So I walk with quiet courage through the unknown ahead, not relying on the stories that my anxious mind once said, but on a deeper understanding shaping every part of me, guiding every step toward what I am meant to be. I no longer lean on limits of my human understanding. There is something far more steady than the plans I've been demanding. And the more I let go of needing everything defined, the more I see a greater order woven through my life. Every moment has a purpose, even when it feels unclear. Every silence carries meaning I am learning how to hear, and the path becomes more certain when I stop and simply trust that there is something greater holding everything for us. So I move into tomorrow with a calm and open heart, knowing every ending only leads to a new start. And even when I cannot see the reason or the way, there is something always guiding every step I take today. I trust the unseen direction that is shaping all I do, a steady inner compass pulling me into the new, not by force or fear or pressure, but a quiet, steady light, turning every unknown moment into something right. And I walk on with assurance I don't fully understand, but I feel a deeper presence gently holding where I stand. Because life is not just random, not just chance or passing wind. It is leading me somewhere I was always meant to begin.
There is a quiet shift that happens when I stop the fight between what I can see and what I know is out of sight. A softer kind of wisdom starts to rise within my chest, guiding me away from everything I once called best. I used to trust my thinking like it held the final word, but even stronger certainty can quietly be blurred. So I learned to step beyond the edges of my mind and discover deeper answers I was never meant to find. When I release the pressure of controlling every part, something steady begins forming deep inside my heart. Not built on human guessing, not on fear of fleeting gain, but on something that remains through every loss and every gain. I don't need to force the future into shape, I understand there is a greater pattern, drawing lines I never planned. And what feels like interruption starts to make a greater sense, like scattered pieces joining in a perfect sequence. Every road I thought was wrong begins to prove me otherwise. Every delay reveals a hidden gift behind disguise, and I begin to notice how the timing is precise, how even broken seasons can become a bridge to life. I stop relying only on my limited design. There is something far more stable working through all time, and when I let go of needing everything to be controlled, I find a deeper strength that steadies every part of soul. Even confusion has a purpose I can slowly understand, like a teacher leading gently with a patient hand. And every unanswered question becomes space to grow into something I would never have discovered if I'd known. So I move with quiet trust into what I cannot predict, not because I see the ending, but because I feel it click. A deeper kind of order forming underneath the noise, replacing anxious thinking with a calmer set of choice. I don't lean on my own insight as the only guiding light. There is something far beyond the shaping wrong and the right, and when I stop insisting on control I cannot keep, I find a steady current pulling me out of the deep. Every setback becomes structure in a larger plan, every weakness becomes strength I didn't know I can. And even in the silence something meaningful appears, turning every drop of struggle into understanding tears. I release the need to calculate each step ahead of me, because clarity unfolds in its own time and naturally. And what I thought was random starts to form a clearer line, leading me into a future I could never redesign. I don't walk this path alone even when it feels that way. There is guidance in the background of each rising day, not loud, not forced, not visible to hurried eyes, but consistent through the valleys and the highest skies. And I begin to trust the journey even when I'm clear, even when the path is wrapped in doubt or fear, because something greater works beyond what I can see, turning every broken moment into possibility. So I move into tomorrow with a steady open hand, letting go of every need to fully understand. And I find that every step I take begins to align with the wisdom far beyond the limits of my mind. The more I stop controlling, the more I start to see that life was always shaping something better out of me. And every unknown ending was a doorway to begin, a path that leads me closer to the place I'm meant within. There is a quiet place inside the rushing of my thoughts, where everything I thought I needed slowly comes to naught. And in that space of silence, something clearer starts to rise, a different kind of vision opening my inner eyes. I used to build my future on the plans I made alone, believing every answer had to come from what I've known. But even strong direction can dissolve into the air when life begins to move in ways I never could prepare. So I learned to loosen tightly held assumptions in my hand, and trust a wider rhythm I don't fully understand. Not every step is visible, not every turn is clear, but something keeps unfolding even when I face my fear. When I stop insisting on the path I think is right, another path begins to glow within the darker night. And what once felt like confusion
slowly starts to align into something more intentional, beyond my narrow line. I don't rely on thinking that is limited and small. There is something far more steady holding overall. And when I release the need to have control each day, a deeper kind of order starts to gently show the way. Every delay I once resisted starts to prove its worth, like hidden preparation, shaping something new on earth. And every closed direction opens corridors unseen, leading me to places I could never have been. I move forward not with certainty, but quiet trust instead. Not with fear of what is coming, but with hope ahead. Because even when the outcome is not visible to me, there is something working underneath what I can see. I let go of needing everything to fit my design. 'Cause life is more than patterns my mind tries to define. And when I stop demanding every answer be resolved, something stronger than my worry starts to get involved. There is meaning in the waiting I once thought was delay. There is guidance in the silence of an ordinary day. And every moment that feels random slowly starts to show a direction I would miss if I refuse to let it go. I don't walk alone even when the road feels far and wide. There is something always present, moving by my side. Not loud like outer voices, not a force I can control, but a steady inner current shaping every part of soul. And I begin to notice how the timing feels precise, how even broken chapters can become a sacrifice that turns into a doorway leading somewhere new, where everything I lost becomes what carries me through. I stop relying only on the limits of my mind. There is wisdom in the flow of things I cannot bind. And when I let go of needing certainty each hour, I discover hidden strength I never knew I had the power. Even uncertainty becomes a teacher I can trust, showing me that everything is forming as it must. And what once felt like chaos starts to organize and breathe, like a quiet hidden structure underneath what I believe. Every setback is a signal pointing somewhere else. Every struggle is a message I'm learning how to tell. And I begin to see the purpose hidden in the strain, turning every loss I carried into something I can gain.
There is a deeper current moving underneath my life, beyond the noise of pressure, beyond the reach of constant strife. A steady hidden order I don't always understand, but somehow it keeps leading every moment as it stands. I used to think I had to map the future on my own, as if the weight of every answer was mine alone. But even strong direction can dissolve into the air when life begins unfolding in a way I'm not aware. So I learned to step beyond the limits of my view and trust a wiser rhythm guiding everything I do. Not every turn is visible, not every step is clear, but something always opens when I move beyond my fear. When I stop insisting on the way I think is right, a different kind of pathway starts to glow within the night, and what once felt uncertain begins slowly to align, like scattered pieces forming into something so defined. I don't rely on thinking that is narrow or confined. There's something far more stable working through my mind. And when I let go of needing every detail to be known, a stronger kind of guidance starts to lead me on its own. Every delay I once resisted now begins to show. It was shaping preparation for the things I need to know. And every close direction was a loss but redirection, leading me toward a place of deeper connection. I move forward without needing full control each day, because clarity is forming even while I wait. And what feels like interruption often carries hidden grace, turning every broken moment into a better place. I release the need to understand the final plan, because life is more than limits of what I can scan. And when I stop demanding certainty in every part, something greater starts to settle calmly in my heart. Even confusion becomes part of a larger design, a chapter in a story that is slowly realigned. And I begin to notice how each moment has its role in shaping something stronger deep within my soul. I don't walk alone even when the path feels far away. There's something always present through the rise and sway, not loud like human voices, not controlled by human will, but a steady inner presence that is always still. And I begin to trust the process even when I cannot see, because every step is leading somewhere I'm meant to be. Even when the outcome is not something I can trace, there is meaning in the journey, there is purpose in the pace. I stop relying only on the thoughts I've built before. There is wisdom in the silence was opening a door, and when I let go of control I thought I had to keep. I find a steady current rising from the deep. Every setback becomes structure in a greater whole. Every loss becomes a teacher shaping up my soul. And even in the waiting there is movement I can't see, turning every hidden moment into possibility. So I walk into tomorrow with a quiet, steady trust, knowing even broken pieces form exactly as they must. Because life is not confusion without meaning or a guide. It is something always forming on a deeper unseen side. I don't need to force the future into what I think it should be. There is something far more perfect shaping what will be. And when I stop resisting what I cannot understand, I find a stronger direction gently taking my hand. Every fear becomes a doorway I can walk straight through. Every doubt becomes a lesson showing what is true. And I realize every season had a role to play in building who I'm becoming even today. So I release the pressure of control I tried to hold, and I find a deeper courage rising calm and bold. Because something greater carries every fragment of my way, turning every unknown moment into light of day.
There is a quiet strength that wakes me up before the noise, before the world begins to shape my mind with endless voice. A deeper kind of certainty I cannot fully name, but it stays the same through everything that shifts and changes frame. I used to hold the weight of every outcome in my hands, as if I could control the way each future truly lands. But even careful planning cannot hold the winds of time. They move in ways beyond the reach of logic or design. So I learned to breathe inside the spaces I can't fill, to trust a steady presence underneath my restless will. Not every answer comes when I demand it to appear, but something greater forms when I release the grip of fear. When I stop insisting on the path I think is best, a wiser kind of direction takes over all the rest. And what once felt uncertain starts to slowly reorganize, like dawn dissolving shadows in the early morning skies. I don't rely on thinking that is limited and small. There is something far more steady holding over all. And when I let go of the need to fully understand, a stronger kind of guidance starts to gently take my hand. Every delay I once resisted now begins to show. It was building hidden structure I was not meant to know. And every closed direction wasn't lost but quiet redirection, leading me towards something shaped with deeper intention. I move forward without needing every step to be defined, because meaning often forms beyond the edges of the mind. And what feels like interruption slowly proves itself as part of a larger kind of timing written deeper in the heart. I release the need to measure every future that I face, because life is more than numbers, more than effort, more than pace. And when I stop demanding demanding certainty in every way. A calmer kind of wisdom starts to guide me day by day. Even confusion becomes part of something I can trust, a shaping of the broken into something that is just. And I begin to notice how each moment has its role in constructing something stronger deep within my soul. I don't walk alone even when the road feels far and wide. There is something always present moving by my side, not visible like daylight, not loud like crashing sound, but steady like an anchor that is always deeply bound. And I begin to feel it even when I cannot see a direction working softly through the unknown parts of me. Not forcing, not demanding, but consistent through the night, turning every hidden corner slowly into light. I stop relying only on the thoughts I built before. There is wisdom in the silence, opening another door. And when I let go of control I thought I had to keep, I find a deeper current rising gently from the deep. Every setback becomes structure in a larger unfolding plan. Every weakness becomes strength I didn't know I can. And even in the waiting there is movement I can trace, a shaping of direction I could never replace. So I walk into tomorrow with a steady open heart, knowing every ending only leads to a brand new start. Because nothing is truly wasted in the flow of what will be. Every piece is part of something I am learning how to see. I don't need to force the future into what I think it should become. There is something far more perfect working even when I'm numb. And when I stop resisting what I cannot comprehend, a stronger kind of clarity begins to gently send. Every fear becomes a doorway I can step into and grow. Every doubt becomes a teacher showing what I need to know. And I realize the journey was never meant to be controlled, but to shape a deeper courage in the story being told. So I release the pressure of understanding every sign, and I trust a wider wisdom moving through all time. Cause even when I cannot see the reason or the plan, there is something always guiding more than what I am. I feel it in the silence, I feel it in the air, a steady unseen presence that is always there. Not bound by explanation, not limited by sight, but turning every darkness into something that is right. And I keep walking forward even when the path is dim, because something greater carries every broken piece of him, turning hesitation into strength I didn't know I had, and replacing every worry with the calm I never had. I don't lean on my own understanding as my final guide. There's something far beyond it working deep inside. The more I let go of needing everything defined, the more I find a greater peace aligning with my mind. So I step into the unknown with a quiet, steady grace, no longer trying to control the outcome or the pace. Because life is not confusion without meaning or design. It is something greater forms when I release the grip of fear, when I trust the unseen order in the rising of each day. Even when I cannot see the reason or the way, because something greater holds me even when I fall, and leads me into purpose through it all. There is a quiet strength that wakes me up before the noise, before the world begins to shape my mind with endless voice. The deeper kind of certainty I cannot fully name, but it stays the same through everything that shifts and changes.
is a calm that meets me underneath the morning light, a quiet sense of something guiding every step in sight. Not loud enough to pressure me, not sharp enough to prove, but steady like a river that knows exactly how to move. I used to think direction had to come from what I see, as if the clearest answers were inside of only me. But even strong conviction can dissolve into the air when life begins unfolding in a way I'm not aware. So I learned to loosen tightly, held control inside my hands, and trust a deeper rhythm I don't always understand. Not every path is visible, not every turn is shown, but something keeps on leading me beyond what I have known. When I stop insisting on the way I think is right, a different kind of order starts to rise within the night. And what once felt uncertain slowly organizes time into something more intentional, beyond my narrow line. I don't rely on thinking that is limited and small. There is something far more steady, holding over all. And when I let go of needing every answer to be clear, a stronger kind of wisdom starts to calm my inner fear. Every delay I once resisted now begins to show. It was building hidden structure I was never meant to know. And every close direction wasn't lost but redirection, leading me towards something shaped with deeper intention. I move forward without needing full control of every part, because meaning often grows inside a quiet heart. And what feels like interruption slowly proves itself as grace, redirecting every step into a better place. I release the need to calculate each outcome in advance, because life is more than patterns of a carefully planned chance. And when I stop demanding certainty in every way, a calmer kind of guidance starts to lead me day by day. Even confusion becomes part of something I can trust, a shaping of my future in a way that feels just. And I begin to notice how each moment has its role in forming something stronger deep within my soul. I don't walk alone, even when the road feels far and wide. There is something always present, moving by my side. Not visible like daylight, not controlled by human will, but steady like an anchor that remains completely still. And I begin to sense it even when I cannot see a direction, working gently through the unknown parts of me. Not forcing, not demanding, but consistent through the night, turning every hidden moment slowly into light. I stop relying only on the thoughts I built before. There is wisdom in the silence, opening another door. And when I let go of control I thought I had to keep, I find a steady current rising softly from the deep. Every setback becomes structure in a greater unfolding plan. Every weakness becomes strength I didn't know I can. And even in the waiting there is movement I can trace, a shaping of direction I could never replace. So I walk into tomorrow with a steady open heart, knowing every ending only leads to a brand new start. Because nothing is wasted in the flow of what will be. Every fragment is a piece of something I will see. I don't need to force the future into what I think it should become. There is something far more perfect working even when I'm numb.
fear becomes a doorway I can walk straight through. Every doubt becomes a teacher showing what is true. And I realize the journey was never meant to be controlled, but to shape a deeper courage in the story being told. So I release the pressure of knowing everything ahead, and I trust a wider wisdom in the path I'm being led. Because even when I cannot see the reason or the plan, there is something always guiding more than what I am. I feel it in the silence, I feel it in the air, a steady unseen presence that is always there. Not bound by explanation, not limited by sight, but turning every darkness into something that is right. And I keep walking forward even when the path is dim, because something greater carries every broken piece of him, turning hesitation into strength I didn't know I had, and replacing every worry with a peace I never had. I don't lean on my own understanding as my final guide. There is something far beyond it working deep inside. And the more I let go of needing everything defined, the more I find a greater peace aligning with my mind. So I step into the unknown with a quiet, steady grace, no longer trying to control the outcome or the pace. Because life is not confusion without meaning or design. It is something always shaping every single line. And I trust the unseen order in the rising of each day, even when I cannot see the reason or the way. Because something greater holds me even when I fall, and leads me into purpose through it all. There is a calm that meets me underneath the morning light, a quiet sense of something guiding every step inside. Not loud enough to pressure me, not sharp enough to prove. There is a quiet turning in the middle of my thoughts, where everything I thought I needed slowly comes to naught. And in that empty space, a clearer kind of truth appears, softly replacing pressure, dissolving hidden fears. I used to chase direction like it had to be controlled, as if every single answer could be forced and fully told. But life has its own timing, its own rhythm, its own way, and even broken detours shape the path I walk today. So I learned to step beyond the limits of my own design, and trust a wider wisdom working through each line of time. Not every step is visible, not every reason clear, but something steady guides me through confusion and through fear. When I stop insisting on the path I think is right, a different kind of clarity begins to fill the night. And what once felt like chaos slowly starts to align into something more intentional beyond my narrow mind. I don't rely on thinking that is fragile or confined. There is something far more stable working in my mind. And when I release the need to have it all explained, a deeper kind of peace begins to gently be obtained. Every delay I once resisted now begins to show. It was building preparation I was not meant to know. And every closed direction wasn't lost but redirection, leading me towards something shaped with deeper intention. I move forward without needing every outcome in my hand, because meaning often grows in ways I don't understand. And what feels like interruption slowly proves itself as part of a larger
something I can trust, a shaping of my journey in a way that feels just. And I begin to notice how each moment has its role in forming something stronger deep within my soul. I don't walk alone, even when the road feels far and wide. There is something always present, moving by my side. Not loud like human voices, not controlled by human will, but steady like an anchor that is always still. And I begin to feel it even when I cannot see a direction, working gently through the unknown parts of me. Not forcing, not demanding, but consistent through the night, turning every hidden moment slowly into light. I stop relying only on the thoughts I built before. There is wisdom in the silence, opening another door. And when I let go of control I thought I had to keep, I find a steady current rising softly from the deep. Every setback becomes structure in a greater unfolding plan. Every weakness becomes strength I didn't know I can. And even in the waiting, there is movement I can trace, a shaping of direction I could never replace. So I walk into tomorrow with a steady open heart, knowing every ending only leads to a brand new start. Because nothing is wasted in the flow of what will be. Every fragment has a place I'm slowly learning how to see. I don't need to force the future into what I think it should become. There is something far more perfect working even when I'm numb. And when I stop resisting what I cannot understand, a stronger kind of clarity begins to gently stand. Every fear becomes a doorway I can walk straight through. Every doubt becomes a teacher showing what is true. And I realize the journey was never meant to be controlled, but to shape a deeper courage in the story being told. So I release the pressure of knowing everything ahead, and I trust a wider wisdom in the path I'm being led. Because even when I cannot see the reason or the plan, there is something always guiding more than what I am. I feel it in the silence, I feel it in the air, a steady unseen presence that is always there. Not bound by explanation, not limited by sight, but turning every darkness into something that is right. And I keep walking forward even when the path is dim, because something greater carries every broken piece of him, turning hesitation into strength I didn't know I had, and replacing every worry with a peace I never had. I don't lean on my own understanding as my final guide. There is something far beyond it working deep inside. And the more I let go of needing everything defined, the more I find a greater peace aligning with my mind. So I step into the unknown with a quiet, steady grace, no longer trying to control the outcome or the pace. Because life is not confusion without meaning or design. It is something always shaping every single line. And I trust the unseen order in the path I think is right, even when I cannot see the reason or the way. Because something greater holds me even when I fall, and leads me into purpose through it all.
There is a moment where the noise inside begins to slow, and something deeper underneath the surface starts to show. Not as a force that pushes me, not as a voice so loud, but like a steady current moving quietly through the crowd. I used to think direction had to come from what I see, as if the answers lived inside my certainty. But even strong convictions can dissolve into the air when life begins unfolding in a way beyond my care. So I learned to loosen tightly held assumptions in my hand, and trust a wider wisdom I don't always understand. Not every step is visible, not every turn is planned, but something always leads me, even when I cannot stand. When I stop insisting on the path I think is right, a different kind of clarity begins to fill the night, and what once felt like chaos starts to gently reorganize, like scattered stars aligning in the depth of open skies. I don't rely on thinking that is fragile or confined. There is something far more steady working in my mind, and when I let go of needing every answer to be known, a deeper kind of peace begins to settle in my soul. Every delay I once resisted now begins to show. It was building preparation I was not meant to know, and every closed direction wasn't lost but redirection, leading me towards something shaped with hidden perfection. I move forward without needing full control of what will be, because meaning often forms in what I cannot see, and what feels like interruption slowly proves itself as part of a greater kind of story written deeper in the heart. I release the need to calculate each outcome I pursue, because life is more than patterns that my mind can think of true. And when I stop demanding certainty in every way, calmer kind of wisdom starts to guide me day by day. Even confusion becomes part of something I can trust, a shaping of my journey in a way that feels just. And I begin to notice how each moment has its role in forming something stronger deep within my soul. I don't walk alone, even when the road feels far and wide. There is something always present, moving by my side. Not visible like daylight, not controlled by human will, but steady like an anchor that remains completely still. And I begin to feel it, even when I cannot see. A direction working softly through the unknown parts of me. Not forcing, not demanding, but consistent through the night, turning every hidden moment slowly into light. I stop relying only on the thoughts I built before. There is wisdom in the silence, opening another door. And when I let go of control I thought I had to keep, I find a steady current rising gently from the deep. Every setback becomes structure in a greater unfolding plan. Every weakness becomes strength I didn't know I can. And even in the waiting there is movement I can trace, a shaping of direction I could never replace. So I walk into tomorrow with a steady open heart, knowing every ending only leads to a brand new start. Because nothing is wasted in the flow of what will be. Every fragment is a piece I'm learning how to see. I don't need to force the future into what I think it should become. There is something far more perfect working, even when I'm numb. And when I stop resisting what I cannot understand, a stronger kind of clarity begins to gently stand. Every fear becomes a doorway I can walk straight through. Every doubt becomes a teacher showing what is true. And I realize the journey was never meant to be controlled, but to shape a deeper courage in the story being told. So I there, not bound by explanation, not limited by sight, but turning every darkness into something that is right. And I keep walking forward even when the path is dim, because something greater carries every broken piece of him, turning hesitation into strength I didn't know I had, and replacing every worry with a peace I never had. I don't lean on my own understanding as my final guide. There is something far beyond it working deep inside, and the more I let go of needing everything defined, the more I find a greater peace aligning with my mind. So I step into the unknown with a quiet, steady grace, no longer trying to control the outcome or the pace, because life is not confusion without meaning or design, but it's something always leads me even when I cannot stand. When I stop insisting on the path I think is right, a different kind of clarity begins to fill the night, and what once felt like chaos starts to gently reorganize, like scattered stars aligning in the depth of open skies. When I stop insisting on the path I think is right, a different kind of clarity begins to fill the night, and what once felt like chaos starts to gently reorganize, like scattered stars aligning in the depth of open skies. When I stop insisting on the path I think is right, a different kind of clarity begins to fill the night. There is a quiet moment when I stop and breathe again, where everything I carried starts to loosen once, and then the weight of overthinking, the pressure of control begins to fade like echoes moving gently through my soul. I used to think the answers had to come from what I knew, as if my understanding was the only thing that's true. But even strong foundations can be shaken by the tide, when life begins unfolding in a way I cannot guide. So I learned to step beyond the limits of my own view, and trust a deeper wisdom shaping everything I do. Not every road is visible, not every truth is clear, but something steady carries me beyond uncertainty and fear. When I stop insisting on the path I think is right, a different kind of order starts to rise within the night, and what once felt like confusion slowly starts to rearrange, like scattered fragments forming into something that can change. I don't rely on thinking that is fragile or confined. There is something far more steady working in my mind, and when I let go of needing every answer to be known, a deeper kind of strength begins to make itself my own. Every delay I once resisted now begins to show. It was building preparation I was never meant to know, and every closed direction wasn't lost but a redirection, leading me towards something shaped with hidden intention. I move forward without needing full control of what will be, because meaning often grows in what I cannot see, and what feels like interruption slowly proves itself as part of a greater kind of story written deeper in the heart. I release the need to calculate each outcome I pursue, because life is more than patterns that my mind can call as true. And when I stop demanding certainty in every way, a calmer kind of wisdom starts to guide me day by day. Even confusion becomes part of something I can trust, a shaping of my journey in a way that feels just. And I begin to notice how each moment has its role in building something stronger deep within my soul. I don't walk alone even when the road feels feels far and wide. There's something always present, moving by my side, not visible like daylight, not controlled by human will, but steady like an anchor that is always, always still. And I begin to feel it even when I cannot see a direction, working softly through the unknown parts of me. Not forcing, not demanding, but consistent through the night, turning every hidden moment slowly into light. I stop relying only on the thoughts I've built before. There is wisdom in the silence, opening another door. And when I let go of control I thought I had to keep, I find a steady current rising gently from the deep. Every setback becomes structure in a greater unfolding plan. Every weakness becomes strength I didn't know I can. And even in the waiting there is movement I can trace, a shaping of direction I could never replace. So I walk into tomorrow with a steady open heart, knowing every ending only leads to a brand new start. Because nothing is wasted in the flow of what will be. Every fragment has a place, I'm learning how to see. I don't need to force the future into what I think it should become. There is something far more perfect working even when I'm numb. And when I stop resisting what I cannot understand, a stronger kind of clarity begins to gently stand. Every fear becomes a doorway I can walk straight through. Every doubt becomes a teacher, showing what is true. And I realize the journey was never meant to be controlled, but to shape a deeper courage in the story being told. So I release the pressure of knowing everything ahead, and I trust a wider wisdom in the path I'm being led. Because even when I cannot see the reason or the plan, there is something always guiding more than what I am. I feel it in the silence, I feel it in the air, a steady unseen presence that is always there. Not bound by explanation, not limited by sight, but turning every darkness into something that is right. And I keep walking forward even when the path is dim, because something greater carries every broken piece of him, turning hesitation into strength I didn't know I had, and replacing every worry with a peace I never had. I don't lean on my own understanding as my final guide. There is something far beyond it working deep inside. And the more I let go of needing everything defined, the more I find a greater peace aligning with my mind. So I step into the unknown with a quiet, steady grace, no longer trying to control the outcome or the pace, and trust a deeper wisdom shaping everything I do. Not every road is visible, not every truth is clear, but something steady carries me beyond uncertainty and fear. When I stop into the unknown with a quiet, steady grace, no longer trying to control the outcome or
there is a deeper quiet calling me into the day, where all my heavy thinking slowly starts to drift away. And in the space that follows, something clearer comes to light, a sense of steady guidance in the middle of the night. I used to build my certainty on everything I knew, as if my understanding was the only path that's true. But life has ways of shifting every solid ground I stand, and teaching me to trust what I can't always understand. So I learned to loosen tightly held control inside my chest, and let a wiser current carry me through all the rest. Not every step is visible, not every truth is shown, but something keeps unfolding even when I feel alone. When I stop insisting on the way I think it should be, a different kind of order starts to rise inside of me. And what once felt like chaos slowly reorganizes time, like broken pieces forming into something more aligned. I don't rely on thinking that is fragile or confined. There is something far more steady working in my mind. And when I let go of needing every answer to be clear, a deeper kind of courage starts dissolving every fear. Every delay I once resisted now begins to show. It was shaping preparation I was never meant to know. And every closed direction wasn't lost but redirection, leading me towards something built with quiet intention. I move forward without needing full control of what will come, because meaning often grows in places I become numb. And what feels like interruption slowly proves itself as part of a greater kind of story written deeper in the heart. I release the need to calculate each outcome I pursue, because life is more than patterns that my logic calls as true. And when I stop demanding certainty in every single way, a calmer kind of wisdom starts to guide me day by day. Even confusion becomes part of something I can trust, a shaping of my journey in a way that feels just. And I begin to notice how each moment has its role in building something stronger deep within my soul. I don't walk alone even when the road feels far and wide. There is something always present moving by my side, not visible like daylight, not controlled by human will, but steady like an anchor that remains completely still. And I begin to feel it even when I cannot see a direction, working gently through the unknown parts of me. Not forcing, not demanding, but consistent through the night, turning every hidden moment slowly into light. I stop relying only on the thoughts I built before. There is wisdom in the silence, opening another door. And when I let go of control I thought I had to keep, I find a steady current rising softly from the deep. Every setback becomes structure in a greater unfolding plan. Every weakness becomes strength I didn't know I can. And even in the waiting there is movement I can't trace, a shaping of direction I could never replace. So I walk into tomorrow with a steady open heart, knowing every ending only leads to a brand new start. Because nothing is wasted in the flow of what will be. Every fragment has a place I'm learning how to see. I don't need to force the future into what I think it should become. There is something far more perfect working even when I'm numb. And when I stop resisting what I cannot understand, a stronger kind of clarity begins to gently stand. Every fear becomes a doorway I can walk straight through. Every doubt becomes a teacher showing what is true. And I realize the journey was never meant to be controlled, but to shape a deeper courage in the story being told. So I release the pressure of knowing everything ahead, and I trust a wider wisdom in the path I'm being led. Because even when I cannot see the reason or the plan, there is something always guiding more than what I am. feel it in the silence, I feel it in the air. A steady, unseen presence that is always there. Not bound by explanation, not limited by sight, but turning every darkness into something that is right. And I keep walking forward even when the path is dim, because something greater carries every broken piece of him, turning hesitation into strength I didn't know I had, and replacing every worry with the peace I never had. I don't lean on my own understanding as my final guide. There is something far beyond it, working deep inside. And the more I let go of needing everything defined, the more I find a greater peace aligning with my mind. So I step into the unknown with a quiet, steady grace, no longer trying to control the outcome or the pace, because life is not confusion without meaning or design. It is something always shaping every single line. And I trust the unseen order in the rising of each day, even when I cannot see the reason or the way, because something greater holds me even when I fall, and leads me into purpose through it all. Blur's
There is a moment when I stop resisting what I cannot see, and something deeper starts to breathe inside of me. Not loud, not rushing, not demanding I obey, but steady like a presence guiding me along the way. I used to think control was how I stayed upon my feet, as if I had to plan each single loss and every meet. But even perfect planning cannot hold what time will do. It shifts the ground beneath me into something new. So I learned to let go of the need to fully understand, and trust a wiser order I cannot always command. Not every step is visible, not every truth is near, but something keeps on leading through confusion and through fear. When I stop insisting on the path I think is right, a different kind of clarity begins to fill the night. And what once felt like chaos starts to slowly recompose, like scattered fragments forming into something that still grows. I don't rely on thinking that is fragile or confined. There is something far more steady working in my mind. And when I release the need to have it all explained, a deeper kind of peace begins to gently be obtained. Every delay I once resisted now begins to show. It was shaping preparation I was never meant to know, and every closed direction wasn't lost but redirection, leading me towards something formed with hidden intention. I move forward without needing full control of what will be, because meaning often rises in what I cannot see. And what feels like interruption slowly proves itself as part of a greater kind of story written deeper in the heart. I release the need to calculate each outcome I pursue, because life is more than past. things that my mind can call as true. And when I stop demanding certainty in every single way, a calmer kind of wisdom starts to guide me day by day. Even confusion becomes part of something I can trust, a shaping of my journey in a way that feels just. And I begin to notice how each moment has its role in building something stronger deep within my soul. I don't walk alone even when the road feels far and wide. There is something always present, moving by my side. Not visible like daylight, not controlled by human will, but steady like an anchor that is always still. And I begin to feel it even when I cannot see a direction working softly through the unknown parts of me. Not forcing, not demanding, but consistent through the night, turning every hidden moment slowly into light. I stop relying only on the thoughts I've built before. There is wisdom in the silence, opening another door. And when I let go of control I thought I had to keep, I find a steady current rising gently from the deep. Every setback becomes structure in a greater unfolding plan. Every weakness becomes strength I didn't know I can. And even in the waiting there is movement I can trace, a shaping of direction I could never replace. So I walk into tomorrow with a steady, open heart, knowing every ending only leads to a brand new start. Because nothing is wasted in the flow of what will be. Every fragment has a place I'm learning how to see. I don't need to force the future into what I think it should become. There is something far more perfect working even when I know. And when I stop resisting what I cannot understand, a stronger kind of clarity begins to gently stand. Every fear becomes a doorway I can walk straight through. Every doubt becomes a teacher showing what is true. And I realize the journey was never meant to be controlled, but to shape a deeper courage in the story being told. So I release the pressure of knowing everything ahead, and I trust a wider wisdom in the path I'm being led. Because even when I cannot see the reason or the plan, there is something always guiding more than what I am. I feel it in the silence, I feel it in the air, a steady unseen presence that is always there. Not bound by explanation, not limited by sight, but turning every darkness into something that is right. And I keep walking forward even when the path is dim, because something greater carries every broken piece of him, turning hesitation into strength I didn't know I had, and replacing every worry with a peace I never had. I don't lean on my own understanding. There is a quiet opening that comes before the day begins, where every heavy worry slowly loosens and rescinds. And in that space of stillness, something steady starts to rise, a clearer kind of vision beyond distracted eyes. I used to hold my direction like it had to be controlled, as if every single outcome had already been told. But even best intentions can be shifted in a breath, when life rewrites the pathway in its rhythm of progress. So I learned to step beyond the need to understand it all, and trust a deeper structure even when I start to fall. Not every road is visible, not every truth is near, but something always leads me through uncertainty and fear. When I stop insisting on the path I think is right, a different kind of order starts to glow within the night. And what once felt like chaos starts to reorganize and mend, like broken lines of story finding where they should extend. I don't rely on thinking that is fragile or confined. There is something far more steady working in my mind. And when I release the need to have it all explained, a deeper kind of courage starts to gently be obtained. Every delay I once resisted now begins to show. It was building preparation I was never meant to know. And every closed direction wasn't loss but redirection, leading me towards something shaped with hidden perfection. I move forward without needing every answer in my hand, because meaning often grows in ways I don't understand. And what feels like interruptions slowly proves itself as part of a greater kind of journey, written deeper in the heart. I release the need to calculate each outcome I pursue, because life is more than patterns that my mind can call as true. And when I stop demanding certainty in every single way, a calmer kind of wisdom starts to guide me day by day. Even confusion becomes part of something I can trust, a shaping of my future in a way that feels just. And I begin to notice how each moment has its role in building something stronger deep within my soul. I don't walk alone even when the road feels far and wide. There is something always present, moving by my side. Not visible like daylight, not controlled by human will, but steady like an anchor that is always still. And I begin to feel it even when I cannot see a direction, working softly through the unknown parts of me. Not forcing, not demanding, but consistent through the night, turning every hidden moment slowly into light. I stop relying only on the thoughts I've built before. There is wisdom in the silence, opening another door. When I let go of control I thought I had to keep, I find a steady current rising gently from the deep. Every setback becomes structure in a greater unfolding plan. Every weakness becomes strength I didn't know I can. And even in the waiting there is movement I can trace, a shaping of direction I could never replace. So I walk into tomorrow with a steady open heart, knowing every ending only leads to a brand new start. Because nothing is wasted in the flow of what will be. Every fragment has a place I'm learning how to see. I don't need to force the future into what I think it should become. There is something far more perfect working even when I'm numb. And when I stop resisting what I cannot understand, a stronger kind of clarity begins to gently stand. Every fear becomes a doorway I can walk straight through. Every doubt becomes a teacher showing what is true. And I realize the journey was never meant to be controlled, but to shape a deeper courage in the story being told. So I release the pressure of knowing everything ahead, and I trust a wider wisdom in the path I'm being led. Because even when I cannot see the reason or the plan, there is something always guiding more than what I am. I feel it in the silence, I feel it in the air, a steady unseen presence that is always there. Not bound by explanation, not limited by sight, but turning every darkness into something that is right. And I keep walking forward even when the path is dim, because something greater carries every broken piece of him, turning hesitation into strength I didn't know I had, and replacing every worry with a peace I never had.
I don't lean on my own understanding as my final guide. There is something far beyond it, working deep inside. And the more I let go of needing everything defined, the more I find a greater peace aligning with my mind. So I step into the unknown with a quiet, steady grace, no longer trying to control the outcome or the pace. Because life is not confusion without meaning or design. It is something always shaping every single line. And I trust the easing order in the rising of each day, even when I cannot see the reason or the way. Because something greater holds me even when I fall, and leads me into purpose through it all.
When the night gets heavy and the road feels long, when the noise of the whole world says you don't belong, when your hands are shaking from the weight you hide, there's a quiet voice whispering, don't stop now, keep walking through the fire. You were never made to live afraid, never born to fade into the shadows. There's a light ahead, even in the storm, even when the sky feels cold and hollow. Stand up, breathe in, you are stronger than the fear within. Every scar becomes a map, leading you where hope has always been. Do not lose your courage, do not let your heart give in. There's a reason you are here, there's a future calling through the wind. Step by step, day by day, even mountains move when you keep your faith in the unseen way. Every broken season, every sleepless night is shaping something beautiful beyond what human eyes can recognize. Hold on, even when the answers disappear. Hold on, even when tomorrow isn't clear. There's a hand that lifts the fallen, there's a truth that leads the lost. There's a love greater than failure, greater than the highest cost. You don't have to run forever from the pressure in your mind. You don't have to carry every burden all alone through space and time. Somewhere beyond the fear, beyond the endless race, there's a calm that finds the tired soul and fills the empty place. Rise again, even after all the pain, like the sunrise breaking through after endless pouring rain. Your story isn't over, your dream is still alive. The world may try to break your spirit, but you were born to survive. Keep moving through the silence, keep walking through the dark. The smallest spark of hope can still ignite a million hearts. One voice can heal the lonely, one heart can change the tide. One moment full of kindness can bring us all back to life. One voice can heal the lonely, one heart can change the tide. One There's purpose in your journey, even in the wilderness. Every road you travel, every tear you cry will someday become the strength that teaches others how to rise. When the walls stand higher and the battle feels too real, remember storms don't last forever, and wounded hearts can heal. You are not forgotten, you are not too far gone. There is still a greater story waiting for your soul to carry on. So lift your eyes higher, beyond the doubt and pain. There's a brighter horizon coming after every season of rain. Walk boldly through the chaos, stand firmly through the waves. The future belongs to those who still choose hope when they are afraid. And when the whole world trembles and the night feels cold and deep, may courage find your spirit and peace find you in your sleep. Keep dreaming, keep building, keep believing in the light, because the darkest hour always bows to the coming of the dawn. City lights and empty faces run in circles every day, trying hard to chase tomorrow while their hearts keep drifting away. Too many voices saying you are not enough. Too many silent battles hidden behind a smile so tough. But deep inside your soul, there's a fire still alive, a quiet kind of strength that refuses not to rise. When the pressure keeps growing and the road becomes unclear, when the weight of the whole world feels too heavy to bear, don't surrender to the darkness, don't believe the fear is true. There's a deeper kind of purpose still awakening inside you. Take one more step forward, even if your knees still shake. Every giant wall before you will begin to crack and break. The rain does not last forever, neither does the pain. Every storm eventually opens to skies of gold again. You were born with vision, born with something rare, a light the world desperately needs. Even if you're unaware, some people lose their direction, trying to please the crowd. But truth is never found in living small and hiding out. Stand tall in the uncertainty, keep your spirit strong. The road may feel confusing now, but you are not walking wrong. Every failure taught you wisdom, every heartbreak shaped your soul, every lonely night prepared you for a future still unfolding whole. There's beauty in persistence, power in staying kind. Miracles often begin inside an exhausted mind. So breathe when life gets heavy, slow down when the world moves fast. The strongest hearts are not the ones that never
break in the past. The strongest hearts keep loving, keep building through the pain, keep planting seeds of hope, even in the middle of the rain. One day the tears you cried will water someone else's dream. One day the scars you carry will shine brighter than they seem. Do not fear the mountains, do not run from the climb. Greatness is not created inside comfort all the time. Sometimes the hardest seasons reveal the clearest view, showing hidden strength and courage you never knew belonged to you. There is still a path ahead, still a reason to believe, still 1,000 unseen blessings life is waiting to release. The world needs more compassion, more hearts that choose the right, more souls that keep on shining, even in the longest night. So walk into tomorrow with courage in your chest. You do not need perfection, just the strength to give your best. And when the shadows whisper that you should give up now, answer with a stronger voice. I was made to overcome somehow. Keep rising through the silence, keep moving through the storm. The future still belongs to those who refuse to conform, because somewhere beyond the chaos, beyond the endless noise, there's peace waiting for the brave who still believe in hope and choice. And maybe one small spark inside your heart tonight will become the very thing that helps the whole world find its light. Slight. Another morning in the fast lane, another race against the time. People chasing empty echoes, trying hard to feel alive. Scrolling through 1,000 stories, searching for a little peace, while their hearts grow tired, quietly begging all the noise to cease. Some are smiling for the cameras while breaking deep inside. Some are carrying silent oceans they were never taught to describe. But even in the darkest moments, even in the endless rain, there's a hidden strength awakening inside every human pain. You are not created to disappear in fear. There's a greater road before you, even if it's not yet clear. When the world says keep pretending, but your soul cries out for truth, there's a voice beyond the chaos, still calling out to you. Keep going, even when the mountain stands tall. Keep believing, even when you feel small. Every step in the right direction still becomes a victory. Every broken piece inside you still belongs in your story. The night may feel eternal, but dawn is always near. And courage is not the absence of fear, it's choosing to move while fear is here. There's no shame in being weary, no weakness in needing rest. Even
Even the strongest hearts sometimes need time to breathe again at their best. Close your eyes for a moment, listen beyond the crowd. There's wisdom in the silence, far away from the loud. You are more than your mistakes, more than all your fears, more than every voice that hurt you throughout the years. Some roads will test your patience, some battles will shape your soul, but storms often prepare people for purposes bigger than they know. One kind word can save somebody, one small light can guide the lost. One act of love and mercy can heal a heart at any cost. The future is not written by the fear inside your head. It's written by the brave ones who keep walking ahead. So rise when life pulls you, understand when the pressure grows. Diamonds are formed in darkness and the strongest rivers still flow. Do not let bitterness win, do not let hatred stay. The world already has enough darkness, be the light that finds a way. Dream beyond your limits, love beyond your scars. Sometimes the people most broken become the brightest stars. And if you feel forgotten, lost inside the fight, remember even the smallest flame can still defeat the night. There's still hope for tomorrow, still beauty left to find, still endless possibilities waiting beyond your mind. The road ahead may challenge you, but you are built to endure. And hearts that choose compassion will always remain secure. So walk boldly through uncertainty with vision in your eyes. The greatest chapters of your life may still be waiting to arise. And one day you will realize the storms you fear the most were the very winds that carried you closer to the life you were meant to know. Midnight streets and restless hearts, neon skies and crowded trains. Everybody's searching somewhere, trying to escape the pain. Some are hiding disappointment behind expensive smiles and dreams. Some are quietly breaking down more than anybody sees. The world keeps spinning faster, faster than the soul can heal. People losing touch with wonder, forgetting how to truly feel. But somewhere in the silence, beyond the endless noise, there's a deeper kind of calling, still reaching through the void. You were not born to wander without purpose, without light. There's a reason you keep breathing through every endless night. When fear says turn around now and doubt says you won't survive, there's a fire inside your spirit, still refusing not to rise. Take another step forward, even if your heart feels weak. Strength is often born in the moments people cannot speak. Every scar tells a story, every tear becomes a seed, growing into unexpected wisdom for the souls who truly need. not envy empty greatness, do not chase what fades away. Some treasures cannot be purchased at the end of any day. The richest hearts are gentle, the strongest hands still care. The brightest souls keep shining even through despair. You may not see the future, you may not know the way, but sometimes faith begins by simply surviving one more day. Hold on to what is honest, hold on to what is true. The world changes constantly, but truth will carry you. One voice can calm the chaos, one life can heal the broken. One moment filled with kindness can speak louder than words unspoken. When the pressure keeps building and the walls feel hard to climb, remember even rivers carve mountains, one drop at a time. Do not be ashamed of weakness, do not fear starting again. The sunrise always returns after the longest nights of pain. Some dreams take time to blossom, some victories arrive slow, but roots grow deepest underground before the flowers ever show. So breathe through every setback, walk through every storm. The strongest souls are often shaped far away from comfort zones. And if your path feels lonely, if no one understands, still keep moving forward with hope inside your hands. Because one day your story will become somebody's guide, showing them that even shattered hearts can still rise with pride. There's beauty waiting ahead beyond the fear and doubt. There's a future filled with meaning, still waiting to unfold now. So lift your eyes beyond the shadows, beyond the endless race. You were made for something greater, not just survival in this place. And when the whole world feels uncertain and darkness fills the sky, may courage become your heartbeat and hope become your guide. Waking up before the sunrise, another long and fragile day. Carrying dreams inside your chest, while the world pulls you away. People rushing through the highways, eyes tired from chasing more, looking for a little meaning behind every closing door. Some are fighting unseen battles, some are losing faith in time. Some are standing in the shadows, trying hard to keep their light alive. But listen closely through the chaos, there's still beauty in the air. Even broken hearts can heal when they remember hope is there. You were never born defeated, never made to stay afraid. There's a strength inside your spirit that can never truly fade. When the road becomes uncertain and tomorrow feels too far, remember storms cannot erase who you really are. You are more than disappointment, more than every painful scar. Sometimes the deepest darkness reveals the brightest stars. Keep walking through the pressure, keep breathing through the pain. Every season has an ending, even endless pouring rain. The world may try to rush you, tell you who you should become, but truth is not discovered by running where the crowd has run. Sometimes the strongest people are the quiet ones who stay, choosing kindness in a cold world when hate would be easier every day. Do not fear beginning over, do not fear the climb. Great things are often built slowly, one faithful step at a time. There's wisdom in the waiting, power in standing still, learning how to trust the process, even when life bends your will. Some dreams grow in silence, far away from human eyes, like seeds beneath the winter snow, preparing quietly to rise. One small act of compassion can rescue someone from despair. One gentle word of healing can remind a soul somebody cares. So do not underestimate the light that lives in you. Even tiny flames can guide people lost without a clue. The future still holds wonder, still holds doors unseen, still holds endless possibilities beyond what life has been. And though the nights feel heavy, and though the climb feels steep, there's a peace that finds the weary and gives exhausted hearts new dreams to keep. Hold on to what is honest, hold on to what is pure. The world keeps changing quickly, but love and truth endure. When fear whispers softly, that mountain is too high, answer with steady courage, and still I'm going to try. Because every step of bravery changes something deep within, turning fragile hearts into warriors who learn how to rise again. So walk forward with vision, stand tall through every storm. The strongest souls in history
surviving through the night.
Late night windows glowing softly, city breathing under rain. Millions carrying silent questions, trying not to break again. Some are lost inside the pressure, some are drowning in the race, searching for a little meaning in a cold and crowded place. Every screen keeps saying faster, every voice demands more now. But exhausted hearts keep wondering how much longer, how somehow. Still beyond the noise and hurry, beyond fear and endless doubt, there's a quiet strength awakening, calling every soul back out. You were made for more than survival, more than barely getting through. There's a deeper kind of purpose still unfolding inside you. When your dreams feel far away and the road becomes unclear, courage does not mean no weakness. It means walking while fear is near. Take one more breath slowly, take one more step ahead. Even tiny movements forward can revive a heart that felt dead. Every storm that tried to break you still could not erase your light, because stars become more visible in the middle of the night. Do not let the world convince you that kindness makes you weak. Some of the strongest people are gentle when they speak. The soul grows through endurance, through compassion, grace and pain. And even shattered pieces can become whole again. Some doors close without warning, some dreams fall apart in time. But endings often guide us toward a greater mountain climb. Trust the process of becoming, though you cannot see the end. Sometimes life is building bridges right where the roads seem bent. One person choosing honesty can inspire countless more. One heart refusing hatred can begin to heal the world. So keep holding on to vision, even through uncertain skies. History remembers people who dare to hope and rise. There is beauty in persistence, there is wisdom in the scars. Some journeys only make sense after traveling through the dark. You are not your worst failure, not the lies anxiety says. You are still becoming stronger through these complicated days. And though the future may seem hidden like sunlight behind the rain, there is still tomorrow waiting beyond today's exhaustion and pain. Do not fear the unfamiliar, do not fear starting small. Mountains are still conquered, one brave step after all. The world needs more true hearts, more people willing to care, more souls who choose compassion when bitterness fills the air. So walk forward through the chaos with peace inside your mind. The strongest lights are often born where hope is hardest to find. And maybe years from this moment you will finally understand. The nights you thought would destroy you were shaping the strength to
Another crowded morning, another sky of gray, people chasing distant answers while their hearts slowly drift away. Some are tired of pretending, some are fighting just to smile, some are carrying broken memories for miles and miles and miles. Every day feels like a battle, every dream feels hard to hold. The world keeps getting louder while human hearts grow cold. But somewhere beyond the pressure, beyond the fear and noise, there's still a quiet whisper calling people to rise with courage and choice. You were not made to surrender, not created just to fall. There's a strength inside your spirit greater than the weight of it all. When the road feels unfamiliar and hope begins to fade, remember even forests grow through seasons dark with shade. Every storm has limits, every night must end, and the soul becomes much stronger each time it learns to bend. Do not fear the unknown future, do not let doubt decide. The strongest people in history walk through uncertainty with vision as their guide. Some dreams take years to blossom, some answers come in time, but mountains are still climbed slowly, one determined step at a time. The world may celebrate power, money, status, speed, and fame, but none of those can heal a heart or calm a soul in pain. Real greatness looks different, it listens, loves, and stays. It lifts the weak and weary and chooses kindness every day. One word can heal division, one hand can stop despair, one life full of compassion can remind the world to care. So do not underestimate the impact of your light. Even the smallest candle can challenge endless nights. When exhaustion fills your spirit and tears fall silently, remember rivers shape the earth through steady consistency. You are still becoming, still growing through the fire. Sometimes difficult seasons awaken deeper desire. Desire to live with meaning, to walk a truer way, to build something lasting beyond what fades away. There is still beauty ahead, still hope beyond the pain, still brighter skies waiting after endless days of rain. And though your heart feels weary, do not stop now. The future belongs to those who keep rising somehow. Walk forward with courage even when your hands still shake, because brave souls are not fearless, they simply refuse to break. The world needs dreamers who endure, builders who still believe, people who plant hope in darkness, knowing one day it will breathe. So stand firm through the chaos, lift your eyes again. You may be open will become the chapter where your greatest life begins. Just cold wind moving through the city, headlights fading in the rain, millions trying to hide the emptiness behind success and daily pain. Some are losing hope quietly, some are tired of being strong. Some have walked through so much darkness, they forgot where they belong. Every heartbeat tells a story, every soul has hidden scars. Every person carries questions underneath the city's stars. But even in the deepest silence, even in the hardest fight, there's a spark inside the human heart, still searching for the light. You were never meant to give up, never born to stay confined. There's a future still unfolding, far beyond what fear can find. When the pressure keeps increasing and your strength feels almost gone, remember oceans keep on moving, even through the fiercest storm. Take another breath with courage, take another step in faith. Sometimes survival itself is proof of extraordinary strength. Every tear you cried in secret, every lonely painful night, is shaping wisdom deep within you, turning weakness into light. Do not measure life by status, do not chase what disappears. Some of the richest souls in history built their lives through unseen tears. Real peace cannot be purchased, real love cannot be faked, and the strongest hearts are often formed after they have been reshaped. Some roads will feel uncertain, some chapters will feel slow, but roots grow stronger underground before the tallest forests show. You are not forgotten, not invisible or small. Even when the world feels distant, your life still matters through it all. One voice full of kindness can calm a fearful room. One act of compassion can pull someone from the gloom. The world keeps craving meaning, something honest, pure and true. And sometimes the answer people need begins inside of you. So keep choosing hope daily, keep standing flowers still bloom beautifully after seasons filled with rain. Do not let bitterness own you. Do not let darkness stay. The strongest souls keep loving even after heartbreak finds its way. There's purpose in your struggle, vision in your climb, and lessons hidden deeply inside the hardest times. One day you will look backward and finally understand why every storm you walk through was shaping who you'd become in the end. So lift your eyes beyond the fear, beyond the endless race. You were created for more than simply surviving this place. Walk boldly toward tomorrow with courage in your soul, because broken roads still lead people toward becoming whole. And when the night feels endless and the stars seem hard to see, may peace rise softly in your heart, like dawn across the sea. Rain falling on the windows, another sleepless night. People searching for direction, trying hard to find the light. Some are carrying heavy silence, some are hiding all their pain. Some keep smiling in the daylight while breaking down in the rain. The world keeps moving faster, never slowing long enough for tired hearts to breathe again when life becomes too rough. But somewhere past the chaos, past the noise and fear, there's a deeper kind of peace still waiting to appear. You were never born defeated, never meant to lose your flame. There's a reason for your journey, even if life feels hard to explain. When the road ahead looks endless and hope feels far away, remember even the darkest night cannot stop the coming day. Take another step with courage, even slowly, even small. Mountains are still conquered by the ones who refuse to fall. Every scar becomes a lesson, every tear becomes a stream, flowing into something greater than the limits of a dream. Do not let fear control you, do not let bitterness stay. The strongest souls keep loving, even after pain finds a way. Some victories arrive quietly, without applause or fame, like choosing to keep believing after disappointment and shame. That is real strength, that is real grace, standing back up again after life knocks you from your place. The world
world may praise perfection, but hearts connect through truth, through honesty and compassion, and courage that survives the proof. One gentle voice can heal someone, one moment can change a life, one act of understanding can calm another's inner fight. So keep planting seeds of kindness, even if no one sees. Forests begin from hidden roots, growing slowly underneath. You are still becoming stronger, still learning how to rise. Sometimes the soul grows deepest through unseen sacrifice. And though the future seems uncertain, like clouds before the dawn, there is still beauty waiting for those who keep moving on. Do not fear the waiting seasons, do not fear the climb. The brightest stars are often born through pressure over time. Hold tightly to what matters, truth, compassion, hope and peace. These are treasures no darkness can never truly defeat. When exhaustion fills your spirit and your strength feels paper thin, remember oceans are created from countless drops within. So walk boldly through tomorrow, even if your voice still shakes. The strongest hearts are not unbroken, they simply continue through the ache. And maybe years from now you will smile through grateful tears, knowing every storm you survived was preparing you for greater years ahead.
The world wakes up in silence before the sun can rise. Tired souls staring at ceilings with heavy hearts and restless minds. Another day of questions, another climb uphill, trying to hold on to hope when everything feels still. Some are chasing empty shadows, thinking success will heal the pain. Some are building walls around them so they never break again. But deep beneath the surface, past fear and loneliness, there's a quiet strength inside you, still refusing to surrender. You were made for more than worry, more than endless fear and doubt. There's a greater story waiting, still trying to call you out. When the pressure feels unbearable and the nights become too long, remember even broken voices can still become a song. Every tear has a meaning, every scar leaves wisdom behind, and every difficult season can reshape the human mind. Do not fear the storms around you, do not run from the rain. The deepest roots grow stronger through the pressure and the pain. Some roads will test your patience, some mountains will stand tall, but strength is born in peace. continue through it all. The world may celebrate power and people who move fast, but the strongest souls are often those who choose love that lasts. Kindness is never weakness, compassion is not small. One gentle heart can change the direction of somebody close to falling apart. So speak life to the weary, stand beside the lost. The greatest things in history were built through sacrifice and cost. You may not see tomorrow, you may not know the way, but purpose often grows quietly, one faithful step each day. Hold on to what is truthful, hold on to what is real. Some wounds take time to heal, but healing slowly still can heal. Do not compare your journey to the highlight reels you see. Some of the most beautiful stories were written patiently. You are not too broken, not too late to rise. Even shattered pieces can reflect the morning light. And though your heart feels tired, do not stop now. The future belongs to dreamers who keep believing somehow. One day the pain you carried will become a guiding flame, helping others survive the darkness and overcome their shame. So keep moving through uncertainty, keep standing through the storm. Diamonds are not discovered inside places safe and warm. The world needs more brave souls, more hearts that still forgive, more people choosing purpose and learning how to truly live. And when the night feels endless and your strength feels far away, may courage rise within you like the dawn of a brighter day. Streetlights shining through the darkness, another long and restless night. People carrying silent burdens, trying hard to hold on tight. Some are smiling through the pressure, some are barely hanging on. Some feel lost inside the noise, wondering where their hope has gone. The world keeps asking for perfection, faster steps and higher goals, but tired hearts are searching deeply for something real to heal their souls. Still beyond the fear and chaos, beyond every broken dream, there's a quiet voice reminding you are stronger than you seem. You were never born to vanish, never meant to live afraid. There's a fire inside your spirit that was built to never fade. When tomorrow feels uncertain and your strength feels paper thin, remember, courage is not perfection, it's choosing to begin again. Take one more step forward, even if the path feels rough.
The strongest people often grow when life becomes unbearably tough. Every storm reveals resilience, every scar reveals survival, and every painful chapter can lead the soul toward revival. Do not let the world define you by your failures or your fears. Some of the wisest hearts are formed through disappointment and tears. Real strength is found in kindness, in choosing love instead of pride, in standing beside the broken rather than turning aside. One word can save a person, one light can guide the lost, one moment filled with compassion can outweigh the deepest cost. The future still holds beauty, still holds endless possibility, and the darkest roads sometimes lead toward unexpected destiny. So keep believing quietly, even when no one understands. Mountains slowly move for those who keep building with their hands. You may feel exhausted now, like your hope is running dry, but stars are born in darkness and still manage to light the sky. Do not fear the waiting seasons, do not fear the climb. Some dreams require patience before they arrive. In time there is wisdom and endurance, power in remaining true. The world changes constantly, but truth will carry you. And maybe the pain you're feeling will someday become the reason another tired soul survives their own difficult season. So walk forward with vision, lift your eyes once more. There are still brighter chapters waiting beyond this door. The world needs hearts that heal, voices that bring peace, people who choose hope and grace when fear and anger increase, and when life feels overwhelming and the road seems hard to see. May courage rise inside your spirit, like waves returning to the sea. Another sunset fading slowly over crowded city skies. People carrying hidden struggles behind distracted eyes. Some are chasing after meaning through the noise of endless days. Some are quietly searching for a better, brighter way. The world keeps spinning faster, hearts growing tired and worn. Dreams get buried underneath the pressure to perform. But somewhere in the silence, beyond the fear and rush, there's still a steady whisper speaking softly through the hush. You were not created to surrender, not designed to lose your flame. There's still purpose in your story, even through the hurt and pain. When the future feels uncertain and the climb feels far too too steep. Remember, oceans are created drop by drop and deep by deep. Take another breath with courage, take another step ahead. Sometimes simply choosing hope is how the soul is gently led. Every scar becomes a teacher, every storm reshapes the heart, and even broken endings can become a brand new start. Do not fear the lonely seasons, do not fear the rain. Flowers often bloom the brightest after surviving pain. The world may celebrate the loudest, the richest and the fast, but the strongest souls are often those who build things made to last. Kindness still has power, truth still lights the way, and compassion can restore a heart that almost slipped away. One small act of goodness can echo through the years. One honest voice can calm a soul drowning silently in fears. You are not forgotten, not invisible or weak. There is strength inside your spirit, even when you cannot speak. Some dreams take time to grow, some answers take time to see, but mountains are still moved by quiet consistency. Do not compare your journey to every shining screen. Real growth often happens far beyond what can be seen. And though the nights feel endless and your heart feels tired too, there is still a greater horizon waiting patiently for you. The road may challenge deeply, but challenges shape the brave. History remembers those who still chose hope through every wave. So stand firm through uncertainty, keep vision in your soul. Even shattered pieces can still become beautifully whole. The world needs more gentle hearts, more people willing to care, more lights that keep on shining through darkness everywhere. And maybe years from now, you will finally understand the battles that almost broke you were teaching you how to stand. Deal. Clouds hanging over the skyline, another restless evening glow. People walking through the silence with stories nobody knows. Some are hiding tears behind laughter, some are drowning in success. Some have everything they dreamed of, yet still feel emptiness. The world keeps demanding more now, more speed, more noise, more fame, while fragile hearts keep searching for something real to hold again. But beyond the endless pressure, beyond every fear and scar, there's a quiet strength within you, stronger than you think you are. You were not born for hopelessness, not meant to live confined. There's a future still unfolding beyond the limits of your mind. When the road becomes uncertain and your courage starts to fade, remember forests still grow taller through seasons filled with shade. Every storm carries lessons, every trial shapes the soul, and even shattered pieces can slowly become whole. Do not let disappointment turn your heart into stone. The strongest lights are often found in people who still love after being alone. Kindness is still powerful, truth still matters now. One compassionate voice can calm 1,000 fears somehow. One hand reaching outward can rescue someone from despair. One moment of understanding can remind a soul somebody cares. The world needs more real people, not just polished images online. More hearts choosing honesty, more souls willing to shine. So keep moving through the chaos, even when the path feels steep. Mountains slowly bow to those who continue one more step deep. You may feel exhausted sometimes, like your strength is almost gone, but rivers never quit flowing, and somehow they carry on. There is beauty in endurance, wisdom in surviving pain. Some flowers only blossom fully after walking through the rain. Do not fear the waiting seasons, do not fear starting again. The sunrise always returns after the longest nights have been. You are not too broken, not too lost to rise. Even stars must live through darkness before they light the skies. And maybe every hardship, every lonely road you knew was preparing hidden strength already growing inside you. So lift your eyes toward tomorrow, hold on to hope again. The future belongs to dreamers who keep walking through the wind. The world may feel uncertain, but your light still matters here. One brave soul choosing love can change the atmosphere. And when the night feels endless and the world feels cold and far, may peace awaken in your spirit like moonlight reaching where you are. The city breathes in shadows underneath electric skies. Millions carrying heavy thoughts behind exhausted eyes. Some are searching for acceptance, some are running from their pain. Some are standing in crowded rooms, yet feeling lost again. Every day becomes a battle to protect a fragile soul. In a world that moves so quickly, people forget what makes them whole.
can shape your sight, and every painful season can awaken hidden light. Do not measure life by riches or applause that fades with time. Some of the greatest souls in history built beauty through the climb. Real peace cannot be purchased. Real joy cannot pretend. And hearts that choose kindness daily will never truly bend. One voice speaking gently can calm a storm inside. One hand reaching outward can pull somebody from the tide. The world is desperate for honesty, for hope that feels sincere, for people who still stand for truth. When confusion fills the air, so keep walking through uncertainty, even when the road feels long. Every step of perseverance makes the human spirit strong. You may feel invisible sometimes, like no one understands. But even silent rivers still reshape distant lands. There's purpose in the struggle, meaning in the pain. Some gardens only flourish after enduring heavy rain. Do not fear beginning over. Do not fear the weight. The sunrise always arise, though the night feels endless and late. You are still becoming, still learning how to rise. Even broken wings can heal and learn again to touch the skies. And maybe one day you'll realize the moments you survived alone were building unshakable courage deep within your bones. So lift your eyes beyond the darkness, beyond the fear and doubt. There is still a brighter future waiting to be found somehow. The world needs people who keep loving, who still choose peace instead of pride, who carry hope through broken places and become a light for others to find. And when the stars appear tonight above the restless sea, may strength awaken in your soul and lead you where you're meant to be. Dawn is breaking through the silence. Another chance to start again. Even after all the falling, even after all the pain. Some are waking with uncertainty. Some are lost in yesterday. Some are searching for a reason, just to find a better way. The world can feel so heavy, like it never slows its pace, and tired hearts keep running just to keep up in the race. There's a steady kind of promise that better days are near. You were never made for giving up, never built to stay down low. There's a strength inside your story, even if you do not know. When your future feels uncertain and your hope feels out of reach, remember storms are temporary, even oceans find their peace. Take a step into the unknown, even if your voice still shakes. Every move toward your purpose is a life that darkness cannot break. Every tear is silent meaning, every loss reshapes the mind, and every broken moment leaves new wisdom left behind. Do not let the past define you, do not let fear take control. There is something deep inside you still becoming fully whole. The world may not always see it, the battles you survive, but resilience grows in silence and still keeps dreams alive. You are not your darkest moment, not your lowest place in time. You are everything you're building. Through each struggle you climb, kindness still is powerful, more than anything we know. It can heal a fractured heart and help a wounded spirit grow. Truth is never loud or flashy, but it always finds a way to stand firm through all the chaos when everything else fades away. One small act of courage can change a fragile life. One word of understanding can cut through endless strife. So keep walking through the pressure, even when you feel alone. Every step you take in courage plants a future yet unknown. You may feel like you are breaking, but you are being shaped into someone stronger than the version fear tried to create. There is purpose in your waiting, meaning in your climb. Some of the brightest futures begin in difficult times. Do not stop when it gets harder, do not quit when hope feels thin. The strongest souls are not the ones who never fall, but rise again. And maybe all your questions will someday make sense too, when you see how every struggle was preparing something true. So lift your eyes toward tomorrow, let your heart believe once more. There is still a path unfolding that you were made for. And when the night grows quiet and the world feels far away, may hope rise like the morning sun and guide you into day. When the night feels longer than the road ahead, and the city lights fade into anxious thoughts, you keep carrying silent battles alone, trying to smile while your heart runs tired. But listen closely, there's a voice beneath the noise, calling you forward step by step. by breath. Do not be afraid of the mountains. Do not turn back from the unknown. Every storm was never meant to stop you, only to show how strong your soul can grow. Hold on, even when your hands are shaking. Stand tall, even when the world keeps changing. There's a fire waking deep inside your heart, a light no darkness can tear apart. You were not created to disappear. You were born to rise beyond fear. There's a future waiting past the pain, a brighter sky beyond the rain. Keep walking, keep dreaming, keep believing in tomorrow. Every scar becomes a story, every loss can shape your glory. When the pressure feels too heavy and the road becomes unclear, truth will guide your every footstep, hope will whisper I am here. There are days you'll feel forgotten, moments you'll question who you are. But even broken wings can heal again, and shattered hearts still carry stars. You don't need to have all answers, you just need courage for today. One more sunrise, one more small step, one more reason not to fade away. Be strong in the middle of chaos, be calm in the middle of noise. The world may try to pull you under, but deep inside remains your choice. Choose kindness when anger rises, choose truth when life's around. Choose hope when fear gets louder, that's where real strength is found. There's a dream sleeping in your spirit, a vision bigger than your doubts. The path may twist through endless deserts, but rivers of peace will still break out. No wall is taller than persistence, no night outlasts the morning sun. The ones who keep moving forward are the ones who someday overcome. You are stronger than your memories, greater than yesterday's pain. Every season has a purpose, even heartbreak leaves behind rain. And rain becomes rivers, rivers become oceans, oceans become endless horizons, calling your name again. So rise now, even slowly, even quietly, even wounded. Rise with courage in your heartbeat, rise with wisdom in your soul. Rise with vision for the future, rise until you become whole. Some will doubt the road you're taking, some will never understand. Greatness often starts in silence before it changes every land. One day the tears will make sense, one day the struggle will shine, one day the road you survived will become someone else's guiding light. So don't surrender your tomorrow because of one exhausting night. The stars still burn above the darkness, and dawn is already inside. Walk forward with fearless wonder, walk forward through every door. The future belongs to the faithful hearts who keep becoming more and more. No fear, no chains, no shadow can define you now. The strength within is rising higher, and this is your moment somehow. Dream bigger than the limits, love deeper than the pain. Speak life into Lift your eyes beyond the horizon. Your new beginning has begun.
Welcome to Lumiv, your immersive space for deep concentration, calm energy, and uninterrupted productivity. In a world full of distractions, focused time has become one of the most valuable skills for success. This 3-hour deep focus ambient session is intentionally designed to help you sharpen your concentration, reduce mental clutter, and maintain a powerful flow state for longer periods of time. Whether you're studying for exams, coding, reading, writing, brainstorming ideas, planning projects, or building meaningful goals, this soundscape creates the perfect atmosphere for deep work and sustained attention. Carefully layered with soft piano melodies, cinematic ambient textures, atmospheric pads, the music remains clean, balanced, and non-distracting, helping your mind stay calm, clear, and productive.
Perfect for long study sessions and exam preparation, deep work, coding and productivity tasks, reading, writing, and creative projects, ADHD-friendly concentration, morning routines and focus planning, late night studying and overnight focus. Lumiv becomes your silent focus companion, helping you stay disciplined, mentally refreshed, and consistently productive every day. This is more than background music. It's a productivity-driven focus environment built for real performance. This 3-hour session helps you improve concentration and mental endurance, increase productivity and workflow efficiency, reduce distractions and cognitive fatigue. You enter flow state naturally and stay longer. You stay calm while working under pressure, complete tasks with clarity and momentum. Whether you're preparing for finals, meeting deadlines, launching creative projects, or improving your daily habits, this soundscape is designed to support your best performance. Press play, clear distractions, stay fully engaged, focus deeper, think clearer, achieve more. Join the growing Lumiv community. What listeners say, perfect for studying and deep work, helps me focus for hours without stress. Amazing background music for coding. Minimal sound with maximum productivity. Stay focused, stay inspired. Stay focused, stay inspired. Stay focused, stay focused. Stay focused,
stay inspired.
I was standing at the edge of everything, between the fear of losing and the hope of becoming. The world kept moving faster every day, but deep inside I was searching for a reason to stay strong. So many voices telling me to stop, so many shadows saying I'm not enough. But somewhere in the silence, a quiet strength began to rise, like sunrise breaking through endless clouds. Step forward, even if your heart still trembles. Move forward, even when you cannot see the end. Because the road to greatness was never built for comfort. There's a promise hidden inside perseverance, a miracle hidden inside endurance. Every difficult season is preparing something greater than your eyes can see right now. Do not fear the unknown future. The path will open as you walk. The next chapter will appear, one brave step at a time. When the world becomes uncertain, let your soul become steady. When confusion fills the air, let wisdom guide your direction. You are designed for more than survival, more than repeating empty routines. There's a vision calling your name, beyond the noise, beyond the pressure, beyond the limits others created for you. Stand strong when storms arrive. Trees grow deeper roots and heavy winds, and hearts grow stronger when they choose courage over fear. The darkness may surround you, but darkness cannot stop the morning, and pain cannot cancel purpose. Some nights will test your spirit, some roads will feel endless, but every mountain carries a view that only climbers ever see. Do not give up now, you've already survived days you once thought would destroy you, and still you are here. Breathing, learning, growing, becoming. That means something powerful. The future does not belong to the fastest people. It belongs to the ones who keep walking after disappointment. Keep building, keep dreaming, keep believing, even quietly. Because silent faith still moves mountains inside the heart. One small decision can change an entire lifetime. One moment of courage can rewrite your story forever. Do not underestimate the strength hidden inside kindness, or the power hidden inside truth. Ooh, ooh, the world is tired of empty promises. People are searching for something real, something pure, something steady enough to trust again. Be that light, not loud, not proud, but unwavering. There will always be reasons to fear, but there are greater reasons to hope. The sunrise still returns every morning, the oceans still reach every shore, the stars still shine through darkness, and your purpose still matters. You are not behind in life, you are growing through invisible seasons. Roots grow underground long before forests appear. So trust the process, even when progress feels slow. One day, everything you carried in silence will become strength for others. One day, the tears will become wisdom, the waiting will become deeply. Lift your eyes higher and keep going. Your greatest chapter has not been written yet, Soda. There was a season when everything felt uncertain, doors closing without warning, dreams fading without answers, and every night carried questions, too heavy for words. But somewhere beyond the fear, a quiet voice kept whispering, "Keep moving forward." Not because the road was easy, not because the pain disappeared, but because something greater was waiting on the other side. So I kept walking through silent battles, through crowded loneliness, through moments nobody else could see. And little by little, the darkness lost its power. Some people will never understand how much strength it takes to smile while healing, to believe while breaking, to hope while waiting. But those are the moments that shape unstoppable souls. Do not fear the size of the mountain. Focus on the strength of your next step. Great journeys are never conquered all at once. They are one brave moment at a time. When anxiety fills the air, choose peace. When confusion surrounds your mind, choose clarity. When negativity grows louder, choose truth. Because the direction of your thoughts will shape the direction of your future. There's power inside persistence, beauty inside endurance, and wisdom inside every scar you survived. The world may rush endlessly, but your journey is not a race. Some flowers bloom early, some bloom later. Both are still beautiful in their season. Do not compare your path to people who were never meant to walk your road. Your story carries a different purpose. There are dreams sleeping inside you, dreams bigger than fear, bigger than failure, bigger than the opinions of strangers. Protect those dreams, even if nobody understands them yet. The strongest visions often begin in silence. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You only need enough courage to take the next step forward, and then another, and another. One day, you'll look back and realize the difficult seasons were building invisible strength. Strength to endure, strength to lead, strength to inspire others who almost gave up too soon. Never underestimate how much your survival matters. Someone out there needs the hope your story carries. The pain did not come to destroy your future. It came to shape your perspective. Storms reveal foundations, and pressure reveals character. So when life feels overwhelming, pause for a moment. Look how far you've
produces hope. That is real strength. The future belongs to people who refuse to quit, even after countless setbacks, especially after setbacks. Do not let temporary darkness convince you the sun disappeared. Morning is still coming, even when the sky feels silent. Keep believing in possibilities, keep choosing kindness, keep protecting your peace, keep building your vision. The world changes when people refuse to surrender goodness. One honest heart can inspire millions. One act of courage can change generations. So rise again today. Rise beyond your doubts. Rise beyond all fears. Rise beyond the voices that try to limit your future. You were not created to stay trapped in yesterday. You were created to grow, to overcome, to shine through difficult times. And even now, with everything you've survived, the best part of your journey is still ahead. So walk forward with confidence, carry hope like fire in your soul, and never forget, the road may be difficult, but your spirit was built to go farther than fear ever could. Another morning opens slowly, city lights fading into dawn, coffee growing cold beside the window, while millions carry silent storms alone. Some are chasing broken dreams, some are hiding unseen pain, some are smiling through exhaustion, trying not to fall apart again. But deep inside every heartbeat, there's a fire that never fully dies, a quiet strength waiting patiently for the moment you decide to rise. So don't let fear write your future. Don't let failure steal your name. The hardest roads often lead people to places brighter than they imagined. You may feel lost tonight, but lost does not mean finished. Darkness is only proof that somewhere nearby light still exists. Take one more step, even if your legs feel weak. Take one more breath, even if your soul feels tired. Because breakthroughs are often born in moments people almost quit. There is purpose in persistence. There is beauty in resilience. There is wisdom growing quietly inside every difficult season. The rain does not last forever. Winter does not hold the sky forever. And pain does not own your future forever. One day, the things that hurt you will become the reason someone else learns how to heal. That is how strength multiplies. Not through perfection, but through survival with compassion. The world teaches people to move faster, to become louder, to compete endlessly. But true greatness grows differently, grows in patience and integrity. simplest ones. Do not underestimate your journey. Even slow progress is still progress. Mountains are climbed one step at a time, and oceans are crossed one wave at a time. So breathe deeply and trust the road ahead. Even when answers seem distant, even when doors remain closed, even when life feels unfair, something greater is unfolding beyond what you can currently see. Every delay carries lessons, every battle carries growth, every ending creates space for a new beginning. You are not falling behind, you are becoming stronger quietly. Roots grow underground long before trees touch the sky. And one day, your unseen growth will become visible to everyone. The fear you feel today will not define your tomorrow, because courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward despite the fear. There will always be critics, always doubters, always people who cannot see the vision inside your heart. But vision was never meant to be understood by everyone. Protect it anyway, feed your mind with truth. Guard your peace, carefully choose hope repeatedly, even on difficult days, especially on difficult days. The future is shaped by people who keep believing when belief becomes difficult. And maybe right now you cannot see the entire path. That's okay. You only need enough light for the next step. Keep walking, keep building, keep dreaming beyond limitations. The world desperately needs people who still carry kindness, who still speak truth, who still choose hope over bitterness. Be one of those people, not because it is easy, but because it changes lives. One smile can heal a stranger, one word can restore direction, one act of love can outlive generations. Never forget how powerful your existence truly is. So rise again tomorrow and the next day after that, until fear becomes smaller than the purpose inside you. The sky ahead is wider than the purpose inside you. The sky ahead is wider than the pain behind you. And your greatest days have not arrived yet.
The road was never promised easy, only meaningful. Every mile carrying lessons, every scar carrying wisdom, every sleepless night shaping a stronger version of you. There were moments you almost stopped believing, moments the weight of life felt heavier than your spirit could carry. But somehow, you kept going. Even slowly, even quietly, even with tired eyes and a heart full of unanswered questions. That kind of strength matters. Because the world often celebrates loud victories, but real courage is continuing when nobody notices,
Real courage is choosing hope after disappointment. There's a reason you survived every difficult chapter, a reason your story did not end in the middle of the storm. You were meant to grow through it, not disappear inside it. The mountains before you may look impossible today, but step by step, impossible things begin to move. Fear will always speak loudly, but truth speaks deeper. Truth reminds you that failure is not final, that pain is not permanent, and that broken seasons still produce beautiful futures. Do not let temporary struggles convince you to abandon permanent dreams. Your vision matters. Even if progress feels invisible, even if nobody applauds your effort, even if the nights feel long, seeds grow in darkness first, before becoming forest. Trust what is growing quietly inside you. The world moves fast, but healing takes time. Wisdom takes time. Character takes time. And the strongest people are rarely built overnight. So stop measuring your worth by comparison. Different journeys require different seasons. Some people bloom quickly, others bloom deeply. Both carry beauty. When confusion surrounds you, choose clarity over chaos. When anger rises around you, choose peace over pride. When negativity spreads endlessly, choose words that heal instead of harm. Because every choice shapes the atmosphere around your soul. There is enough darkness already. Be someone who carries light. Not perfect light, not flawless light, just honest light. The kind that helps people breathe again. The kind that reminds others they are not alone. You never know how deeply your kindness may change someone's hardest day. A single encouraging word can restart a tired heart. And maybe that is part of your purpose too. Not only to survive life, but to bring life into tired places. To remind people that hope still exists, that goodness still matters, that tomorrow still holds possibilities. Even now, while reading these words, your future is unfolding quietly. New opportunities, new strength, new doors, new beginnings. Do not give up before they arrive. Some breakthroughs happen suddenly, after years of invisible growth. That's why persistence matters. One more day, one more effort, one more act of courage can change everything. You are closer than you think. So lift your eyes higher, past the fear, past the pressure, past the voices of doubt. The horizon is still waiting for you, and the person you are becoming is stronger than the person fear tried to create. Walk boldly into tomorrow, not because you know every answer, but because your spirit refuses to stay defeated. Keep building, keep believing, keep moving with purpose. The future belongs to hearts that continue forward, even through uncertainty. And one day, you will look back at this season, not with regret, but with gratitude. Because the struggle that almost broke you actually revealed the strength that was hidden inside you all along. somewhere between exhaustion and hope, you found another reason to continue. Even after disappointment, even after silence, even after doors closed without explanation, that quiet decision changed everything. Because strength is not always loud. Sometimes strength looks like getting out of bed again, trying again, believing again, after life gave you every reason not to. The world moves quickly, chasing attention, chasing success, chasing temporary things. But deep inside, people are still searching for peace, for purpose, for something real enough to trust. Maybe that's why your journey matters. Not because it is perfect, but because you kept walking when the road became difficult. There were nights you carried invisible battles, smiling outside while fighting storms within. Nobody saw the tears, nobody heard the questions, nobody knew how close you came to giving up. But your spirit stayed alive, and that matters more than you realize. Every difficult season was building hidden strength. Every delay was shaping deeper wisdom. Every obstacle was teaching endurance. One day you will understand why certain roads were necessary. Until then, keep moving forward. Do not fear uncertainty. Most beautiful beginnings start with unclear paths. The ocean never asks permission to reach the shore. The sunrise never doubts where the morning will arrive. So why should your dreams disappear because of fear? You were created to grow beyond limitations, beyond opinions, beyond old failures. The version of you that once felt weak is becoming stronger every day. Even now, through every challenge, through every lonely moment, through every unanswered prayer inside your heart, growth is happening, quietly, deeply, powerfully. Do not underestimate invisible progress. Roots grow underground first, long before forests appear. And character grows in silence, long before success becomes visible. So trust the process, even when life feels slow. You are not late, you are becoming prepared. The future requires strength, and strength requires seasons of growth. One day, the pain that confused you will become wisdom that guides others. That is how purpose works. Nothing meaningful is wasted. Not your tears, not your waiting, not your struggles. Everything can become part of something beautiful. So choose courage again today. Choose kindness in a world growing colder. Choose honesty in a world filled with masks. Choose hope in a world addicted to fear. People remember those things, not because they are easy, but because they are rare. Your presence matters more than numbers or applause. The way you treat people, the peace you carry, the light you bring into darkness, those things leave lasting echoes, even when nobody notices immediately. One conversation can restore someone, one moment of compassion can save a tired soul. One life filled with purpose can influence generations. Never forget that. The storm may still surround you, but storms do not last forever, and neither does pain. Morning always returns, light always breaks through, and hearts willing to endure always find new strength. So breathe deeply tonight, release the weight of yesterday, and step into tomorrow with fearless expectation. There are still dreams waiting for you, still doors waiting to open, still miracles hidden inside ordinary days. The story is not over. This is only the chapter where you learned how powerful resilience can become. Now rise again, with peace in your spirit, fire in your vision, and hope stronger than fear, vice.